Good morning and welcome to the homestead. So we wanted to bring you back and do a follow-up on our generator video, our Craftsman generator. We'll leave it at that. We're positive that that was a return now that we looked at it after the video. When we went to box it up to take it back to our big box store, we noticed that the tape on the top had been cut and another layer of tape had been put across the middle where we cut it to open it. And the fact that it had oil in it. None of those ship with oil in them. This was full of oil. The little safety tag was missing off the pull cord telling you to fill it full of oil. So we know that somebody else had purchased that. It didn't work. They took it back. Lowe's or however it happened, it got packaged back up and resold. We got it, and as you guys saw, there was something obviously wrong with it. At that size generator, the air conditioner should be a cakewalk for that generator. So we decided that because we're doing an off-grid solar system, which will be another video you'll see on the camper, that we really didn't need a big generator. We kept thinking something in the 2,000 watt range, something that we can take with us if we're going to do a lot of boondocking to charge the batteries back up for a few hours a day, and something we can actually lift. We can throw it in the belly of the RV, we can throw it in the back of the truck, whatever the case may be. So we decided, again, keeping with that theme that this is going to ride around a lot in the truck, not get used much, may get stolen out of a Walmart parking lot, who knows, wherever, not picking on Walmart, but if we're boondocking somewhere, who knows, right? So we were into Harbor Freight, and we've heard a lot of things about the Predator. We thought we would try one of the cheapest generators you can find. So we got the 2,000 watt Predator inverter generator, and it works great. We hooked it up to the camper. It's about a 50-50 mix whether it'll run the air conditioner or not. It generally goes into overload, but that would be expected on this small of a generator. If we put a soft start on the air conditioner, I'm sure it'd run it. But now with the off-grid solar system and what's called generator assist or shore power assist on the Victron inverter, you can just use what you need to use. So the inverter will pick up the slack for you and not overload the generator. The other nice thing about the generator is, as you remember me saying in the other video, the Craftsman is the only inverter generator I've ever seen that doesn't have the eco disable. So you can turn this eco throttle on or off. So like if we were charging the batteries, we'd leave it on and it would just use just enough RPMs to do what it's got to do. But if you had a big load and you wanted to start it, you could turn this eco throttle off and it'll go to full RPMs, and then it's got more preparedness, if you will, to start that load. It is parallelable, just like most inverter generators. It does have low oil. Everything else, like all the normal generators, the one knob here, turn it to run, turn it to start. That's your choke. So you just, put it there to start it, put it back there to run it, and then shut it off when you're done. It has a 12-volt outlet and a couple 120-volt outlets. Other than that, it's pretty much your typical inverter generator. It is very quiet. It does have the little vent on the cap that you have to open when you start it, and it does have a little fuel gauge on here. So that's what we ended up doing. We just kind of wanted to give you a recap because we felt like we left you hanging a little bit on the Craftsman generator. And yeah, I'm not blaming Craftsman, or Generac in this case. Craftsman doesn't make anything anymore. I'm not blaming Generac. I think probably what happened is the previous person that purchased it had a problem with it, and they packaged it back up, taped it up, and took it in. Or they just took it in with the box open like we did. And when you go into, well, we'll name it, but when you go into Lowe's to do your returns, if it's busy, it's kind of hectic. And the person at the cash register at Lowe's that did the return for us almost wanted to just kind of like, you don't need this, right? You just bought too many, or you don't want it. They kind of want to lead you down that road. I actually had to kind of like stop and say, no, this is actually defective. We're returning it because it is broken. They kind of wanted to just say, oh, you don't want it, let's give you a refund. So I think what happened is that probably happened to somebody else, and the box was open, and the Lowe's employee taped the box closed and put it on the shelf. They're obviously not going to take it out of the box and do any kind of testing on it. If you buy something at a big box store and you take it back and you tell them you just don't need it, they're going to put it right back in inventory if it looks like new, and the next person's going to get it. So the warning there for you guys, and we learned a lesson there as well. Look at the packaging. There was three of those generators. I can't count this money. There was 3 of those generators on the shelf, and we didn't look at the packaging on them. We just took the first one when the guy unlocked the door. If we'd have looked really carefully, we would have seen that one was double taped. And that's usually a sign. Anytime you see a package that's been retaped, usually a sign somebody's been in it. So, you know, not always a bad deal, but if you got to drive a long ways like we do, it's an hour there, hour back, and an hour to take it back, and an hour to come back. So we're 4 hours into that generator that didn't work. Could have saved us a lot of aggravation. But anyways, this is what we ended up with. We think it's going to work perfect for us because, again, with the off-grid solar system, and you'll see that video coming up soon, we have enough power in the camper to do what we want to do. We have enough solar to put it back under most normal conditions. Where we'd really run into mischief is we needed to do a lot of air conditioning for a long period of time, and there was no sun, which those two don't usually go together. But if there was, that's where this would come in. We could throw it under the camper, you know, haul it out when we need it, fire it up, charge the batteries for 2 or 3 hours, and then go through the night, no problem. So we wouldn't have to keep the generator running all night. So that's about it. Like I say, you know, there's not much to it. It's probably about 45 pounds. Muffler on that end, couple access panels. The only thing I noticed about this one is you actually have to take the screws out, take the cover off to change the oil, which to me isn't a big deal. It's 3 screws, but that's just something to be aware of. Other than that, we'll see. We'll do a review on it after we use it for a year or so. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.